Well, let's now get into another session where we'll be having an interesting interview about young entrepreneurs in the ICT sector. And I'm joined by Evans Kithuku, who is from Binary Limited. And we'll be looking at some of the trends in the ICT industry, as well as what the young people are doing out there. Many thanks, Evans.
Thank you.
Perhaps let's start off by Binary Limited. What does your company do?
Binary Limited is an online payment solution company that basically tries to simplify our everyday payments. Because generally, any single day, someone is trying to pay something. So Binary in itself provides ways in which they enable everyone, including merchants, customers, school fees, rent, so that we enable people to pay through an online easy way, rather than waste time and a little bit be introduce a convenient way of doing it.
So how long have you been operational?
Binary is about a year old. We started last year about October is when we started making the product.
All right. Yes. So walk us through, so far, how has been the uptake of the product in the market, and what plans do you have of scaling it up?
We started with, first of all, having a gateway, because that is what enables the payment online, either through your phone or online through the web. We support mobile money as well, because in Kenya, I don't think you have an option not to support M-Pesa. So we're trying to consolidate everything into one so that you pay from where your money is, whether it's a bank account, whether it's the mobile money. So we enable all that from one platform. And when we started, we did a pilot in February. It took us a while to make the product. And we did a pilot that wasn't very successful in February. So we went back again to refine the product. And I think in July, we did a successful pilot. And since then, I think we've gotten some clients, and it's going on well. Yes.
Speaking about clients, perhaps if you could share with us, so far, how does the books look like in terms of your turnover, and what are your projections moving forward?
We are generally a very small startup, because, as I said, we did our first successful pilot in July. So we've been probably in a live mode in less than 2 months. And we already have close to 20 clients on board. So in terms of clients, I would say that in that 2 months, we've performed fairly well. And our target is by next year, we are trying to see whether we can have at least 100 merchants on board, see whether at least we can have 100,000 plus people paying school fees and rent through our platform.
So how do you make your money?
Our money is made majorly because we have two ways of making money. When it's a merchant where we enable people to buy stuff online, then we make money through a small percentage. The merchant is normally charged a fee called a merchant fee. So that's how we make our money. It's generally a minimal fee. It depends on the industry as well, because Visa and MasterCard have a say in that. So they have special rates for different people. And the other one is if you're paying your bill, be it be school fees, rent, then we charge a convenience fee, depending on the amount. So it can be 100 shillings, can be 200, depending on the amount you're paying. So that's where we make our money from.
So looking at the current economic environment, what sort of incentives do you think startups like yourself and many others would need to be able to penetrate the market, which is very competitive?
Because actually, there's some big boys in it. So for a startup, it's quite difficult, especially because in Kenya, the funding is not actually very ripe. But I would say actually it's not bad, because we are third in Africa in terms of where the venture capitalists are looking at to put money in. So I think it's going in the right direction. And possibly, maybe the government could do more in terms of providing some incentives to probably in the ICT sector or any startup that is coming up to make it a little bit easier.
What sort of incentives? Tax?
Tax is one of them, because actually you find that there are some taxes which can be introduced that can probably cripple someone who is not very...
Are you paying taxes?
I do pay, but of course I've spent more than I've gotten in, because I'm just 2 months old.
But it seems like majority of startups try to avoid doing things right, and eventually KRA catches up with them. Because many young people we've interviewed on the show, when you ask them about their revenues, they tend to coil back and say, let's just gloss over that.
Not really, because actually I file my returns every month. And actually, as we speak, it's a negative. KRA, if they were supposed to...
It's a nil return.
Yeah, it's not actually nil, because we are spending money.
Okay.
And we have started getting some minimum revenues.
All right.
But in terms of balancing, I think I'm actually, KRA has my money, so it's not the other way around. So I do pay my taxes. So you are complying? I'm complying completely, yeah.
So let's talk about plans you have for growing your startup with your partners. Looking at the next 5 years, where do you see Binary Limited?
I would say in the next 5 years, it might seem ambitious, but we plan to be in about 10 countries in Africa. And speaking of that, we already have inroads in Rwanda and Zimbabwe. As I said, it's just that the funding bit is not very high, so we're trying to go slowly. And in the next 5 years, in those 10 countries, we are possibly aiming to serve about 5 million people every month, and possibly have 10,000 plus merchants. Yeah.
Many thanks. Appreciate your time. Quite an insightful interview there. We're speaking to Evans Kithuku, who is the founder at Binary Limited, just speaking to us regarding the ICT sector and what actually is in the future for young developers now that a lot is happening on the technology front. Well, speaking about the